An official who is associated with Chinese state media is suggesting that if Speaker Pelosi tries to go to Taiwan, her plane could be shot down. Does the president have a response to that?
You know, I've been asked about, I know you're asking specifically about the rhetoric that we're hearing from China, but as it relates to the speaker's travels, it's something that we're just not going to speak to.
Well, so what do you guys think of that one? So we're gonna break that down in just a minute, but as you guys know, I really fucking love weed. I actually consider myself a bit of a connoisseur of sorts, an expert, if you will. So I was at the dispensary today, and there's this company, Jeter, and they were, they had a little stand. They were giving out swag and stuff like that. I was talking to their rep and stuff, and I told her about my show and about how it's based and stuff like that. She gave me a bunch of swag and all kinds of stickers, and fucking Amy gave me this damn weed tray, all right, and fucking So, of course they're not sponsoring me. Of course, I did pay for this joint that I'm about to smoke here, but. They so far they seem fucking pretty cool, and of course I'm trying to get out there more, so of course I'm gonna tag you guys in this Instagram post. I really hope you guys appreciate it just as much as I appreciate all the swag from you guys, and I appreciate all the support from everybody out there, right? Because that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to support each other and help fix our society. So before we get into all that, oh yeah, let's smoke a fucking Jeter, you guys. So, what is Jeter? Jeter, from what I've gathered, it's a nice joint. It's got distillate in the middle. I believe there could be some wax in there. There's definitely keef in there. There's also keef, as you can see, around the outside. All right, so I'm guessing they probably lightly coat the outside with distillate. Maybe you could tell this was carefully crafted, right? Clearly well put together, right? So the smell is fucking amazing. This one is a blueberry. So before we get into Nancy Pelosi's, let's get into this. This is for you guys, Jeter. Ooh, that's fucking tasty. You can definitely taste the high THC content in it. You guys are definitely going to see me coughing here in just about a second. Oh yeah. This is fucking amazing, you guys. It's burning so smoothly too. It's almost a shame that I'm probably going to get too damn stoned and have to put this motherfucker out. As well as the fact that, I'm also sharing with my lady. So, they're based out of California. You guys all know how I love California, right? So they're based out of California. Cannabis fucking capital of America. Clearly, I don't know. It's a close contender with Colorado, but I mean definitely anything from California or Colorado, weed related, is gonna be fucking amazing, right? And so they just made the move here to Arizona. They're now selling in the Arizona market, and I'll definitely tell you guys, it's definitely fucking worth the buy. This joint right here was about $24.99, I believe, plus, whatever tax. I'm a medical patient, so I don't really pay that exorbitant state tax. I don't, fuck the state of Arizona's fucking government, right? That's what we're all about in this fucking show. Fuck the government. So, yep. But, fucking amazing joint, you guys. You guys are really doing some good stuff there. So, as I said, I don't want to get too damn stoned before all of this Pelosi talk, so I'm going to go ahead and put this out, save some for my lady. You guys see here, I guess stoned all damn day and talk about the existential, and this shit's got me fucking on a whole nother level, so yeah, maybe just one more. You can really taste the blueberry in here. I don't know if it's the blueberry distillate or what it is, but it's really a superb joint, you guys. Fuck. Well, let's get into old Pelosi's.
Well, let me run it down to you, communist, homosexual, faggot, dipshit, motherfucker. Fuck you, that's why. 'Cause fuck you, that's why. 'Cause helmets suck, that's why. And commies like you swallow, that's why. Fuck Pete Wilson, that's why. Fuck Dick Floyd, that's why.
Okay, so let's get into it, guys. So, Pelosi's. So, we're going to be playing a bit of 4D chess here, so you guys are going to have to really, really follow along and pay attention. So, I'm basically describing the importance of Nancy Pelosi right now, right? So, I'm seeing all these, these videos like, oh, shoot her down, China, shoot her down. So, and, we just saw, the White House fucking speaker, the good old diversity hire fucking, just saying, yeah, we're not trying to think of the hypothetical. We're not trying to think of, anything like that, possibly, even though China has come out and said that they are going to designate over Taiwan a no-fly zone. So, like I said, as I mentioned before in previous videos, in order to designate a no-fly zone, we learned this with Ukraine just recently, right? In order to designate a no-fly zone, somebody needs to enforce that no-fly zone, meaning that, of course, somebody would need to shoot down whoever flies into that no-fly zone. So Nancy Pelosi is planning a trip, all over Asia. Nobody fucking knows why, right? No, they're not coming out and saying, what the purpose of her trip is. They're not going and saying who she's talking to. They're not going and saying really anything. And really, if you ask any questions, they're going to dismiss you. But in the episode that we just did earlier today, we saw that, Nancy Pelosi is apparently somewhere else, right? Like she is completely fucking gone. She's not in her right mind, clearly. Did she have sudden onset dementia, or does she know something that is very, very heavily weighing on her? What might she know? Is she afraid of possibly being shot out of the sky? Most likely. Those babblings of about bird bass and things like that. Actually, let's actually kind of think in the super, super, super abstract and even try and guess what the hell she was talking about. Okay. So the left is clearly a cult, right? And luckily for you guys, I'm a bit of an occultist, So I'm going to kind of give you my existential, my fucking out there fucking theory on what it could possibly be. As you guys saw, I did just smoke this, motherfucking Jeter right here. Jeter, welcome to Arizona. Yeah, I'm pretty damn stoned, so I'm stumbling over my words a little bit. But anyway, so the White House does not want to think of of the hypothetical of Nancy Pelosi being shot down. Clearly, something is on Nancy Pelosi's mind, right? So what is she trying to talk about with bird baths and all this and that stuff? Why is she talking about is she, could she possibly be talking about, cleansing a bird? Maybe she is that bird, something like that. I don't know. Like I say, this is pure, out there speculation, people. This is in no way meant to be taken literal. If anything, we're just having some fun with it. Like I said, we're playing a little bit of 4D chess and trying to think about multiple alternate realities of what could happen, right? The implication of Nancy Pelosi being shot out of the sky by the Chinese. And she apparently seems to think that this is a reality. So I think the White House is going to let it happen. I think they're trying to dismiss the possibility because that way they could try to say, oh, look, we never saw it coming. Oh, my goodness. Why would they shoot her out of the sky? No. But they've known if they declare a no-fly zone, they're going to shoot you out of the sky, and they're going to shoot just indiscriminately. That's why they're going to declare a no-fly zone. They're not going to declare a no Nancy Pelosi zone. And, of course, it's not like Nancy Pelosi flies around in a plane that says Nancy Pelosi is in this plane really big on the side, right? She flies in probably the most low-profile fucking thing on the planet, right? Yeah, they're just going to shoot down anything that comes into the sky. And then they'll just say, oh, well, it was a no-fly zone. It's not like we were aiming for Nancy Pelosi. She just happened to come into the no-fly zone, right? No harm, no foul. But ultimately, what is this going to do? This is going to ramp up the war machine, right? So we all know what the war machine does. It prints money. And it's like I say, if you want to think of it in the occultist sense, it is literally the ultimate magic. You can literally create money. You can literally create other people to give you their free will, right? You could literally make everyone will the war machine, right? The entire nation gets behind the war machine. That's what they've been trying to do. They've been trying to get people to just send in money and donate and this and that. Well, what that means is basically they need America to go to war. So we're seeing a global fucking, yeah, and again, this is the 4D chess part, right? So we have that part. That is one plane, right? Let's go on to the next plane, the Great Reset, right? So we've been seeing these meetings in Davos recently, right? All over the place. Russell Brand's been talking mad all day about him. Russell Brand talks quite a bit about him. Actually, you could probably get the most information about these meetings in Davos from either Russell Brand or Dr. Steve Turley. But, Dr. Steve Turley is a very secular, he believes in post-secularism. He's basically one of those people that thinks Jesus is going to come back and save the world. But so he's a bit hard to stomach especially if you're one of my followers, right? So but ultimately he is a very, very good source of information. So the fucking Davos, right? So the Great Reset is basically they're trying to reset these people are the world's greatest economists and fucking world leaders from all over the world, and they've all basically coming together in this secret occult style meeting. Of course it's the ultimate fucking magic because it's out in the fucking open. Ultimately they're doing it right in front of your face, and it's up to most of us that can, like I say, think in the in the fucking existential realms of your mind and think of every possibility, right? So this Davos meeting, they're basically planning World War III, right? Because they need this Great Reset to happen, and nothing can really stand in their way. So with the Great Reset, they need this to happen. So we have these BRICS nations rising up, right? And they're joining with China. They're joining with Russia. I believe it's also it could be Brazil. I'm not sure what the B is for. I believe the I is India. And then yeah. If you guys know, fucking you guys know. But either way, it's the BRICS nations, right? So the BRICS right now is essentially the axis, the axis of evil back, from World War II, right? And essentially, if you look, like I say, when it comes to money, this is what our governments are fully, in for, all right? So they saw back, during the Great Depression from the 20s to, about the 40s, once, after, a bit after the 40s, of course, after World War II. What seems to have brought us out of World War II? What seems to have brought us out of the Great Depression? Looks like World War II, right? Because shortly after World War II, that's when things started going on the old up and up. And then, we've just been on this endless printing of money because they realized that World War II was so significant that, basically that's also coincidentally around the rise of Keynesian economics, where it's basically money is what we decide it is. Money has only the value that we put into it, right? It's that old fucking ridiculous fucking theory. It's basically a way to grift people out of money, basically, and we're seeing the effects of it right now, because basically these whole do you need a stimulus type things, just to fucking get you to vote for someone. That's essentially what it is, right? And it's completely devalued the currency. And that is why the U.S. dollar is at an all-time low. It's, I believe, like 98% down from what it originally started at. And so basically, they need this Great Reset to happen. They need a whole new form of currency, and basically they need to, the world leaders all together are in a cult. They basically all work together to make things happen in the world. That's what they do. That's what occults do. They are the 1% that affect change truly throughout the world. So they come together in this World Economic Forum because they realize that something needs to change, right? Was COVID planned? I don't know. Like I said, I'm being a full-on conspiracy theorist, and I don't want to get banned. So we're just going to continue to stick with the World Economic Forum and Davos right now, right? This is our second plane, right? We first started out with the idea of Nancy Pelosi being shot out of the sky, right? So that is a chess game going on up top. We are on the second board right now. We are talking about Davos. So they need this Great Reset to happen. That's basically the second plane. All right, let's get to the third plane. All right, the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Okay, now the third plane and fourth plane are almost identical, right? So the third plane is the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The fourth plane is the China-Taiwan conflict. Basically, what they both are claiming is Russia is claiming, and again, these are both BRICS nations, right? So Russia is claiming that they are just trying to reunite the old glory of Soviet Union and bring, basically, take back Ukraine, essentially, right? That's what they're basically saying this whole thing is all about. And, basically if they just, kind of just, comply, then, they'll be back part of Russia again. They'll be back part of the Soviet Union, and again, it is imperialism, but ultimately that's the Russian virtue. I'm going to go ahead and light this motherfucker back up because this is getting deep. Okay. Now the fourth plane which has yet to make a move. This is where the next move is going to happen, right? The fourth plane of this 4D chess here is the China and Taiwan conflict, right? So China is essentially using the same principle. Why is this lower level much more important than the next level up, Ukraine, right? So Ukraine is, ultimately you could listen to our last show and we kind of went through it, but basically, Ukraine is an ally in things like grain and basically food, and fertilizer, things like that. Basically all things that we could essentially do domestically if need be, and we probably should be. Now, why is Taiwan an important trade partner with us? Well, because Taiwan, whereas the Ukraine exports grain and food, Taiwan exports superconductors. And next to China, they are the second biggest producer globally of superconductors. Now, if China were to re-assimilate Taiwan, China would essentially have a monopoly on the global tech market. That, not good. That would cripple us. So basically, with these BRICS nations, it seems like the BRICS form of currency, or the BRICS idea of currency, or their philosophy on their new idea of currency is a commodities-backed currency rather than a debt-backed currency, which is what we have, currently with the U.S. dollar. That is why the U.S. dollar is deflating. All right. So if you have a commodities-backed dollar or trade system, well, of course, we have scarcity, we have value, and ultimately that value will build over time, right? Gold and, silver, metals, they're only as good, they're only worth the weight in gold, right? Things like oil and food are literally the absolute essentials of life. So basically, one could give a fuck about gold. What we need is oil to be able to, run the motors that heat, everything, and we need food, of course, obviously, to fuel ourselves. We need oil to fuel our nation. We need food to fuel ourselves. So basically, those are the number one things that should be backing some form of currency. You guys enjoying this 4D chess game? This is some pretty fucking deep shit, right? So the Great Reset needs to kick off in a certain way. And what this is going to be is essentially the BRICS nations versus NATO. What's going to happen is, like I say, this is all purely hypothetical, is if Nancy Pelosi gets shot down out of the sky on this top plane right here, the plane that everybody is currently paying attention to, because this is the top field, right? Like I say, the next move is, so I guess technically the first move is going to be the plane on top, which is, like I say, Nancy Pelosi, basically, getting shot out of the sky. That would be the next step on the first plane. Then the bottom plane would come up. Again, I don't know how 4D chess works either. I've never played 4D chess. I'm really not even that good at chess, but I'm all just kind of guessing. I'm being a Q guy. Right? But so if Nancy Pelosi gets shot down out of the sky, then, well, China gets to make their move and begin invading Taiwan. It's probably going to all happen in an instant, right? Especially with how quickly we are able to relay data and information these days. It's probably going to happen instant, probably simultaneously. Okay. Of course, the United States, like I said, is going to ramp up the war machine instantly. Everyone, left, right, front, center, all those in America are going to come together because we have a new enemy that's rising up in the East. And that enemy is China. That enemy is Russia, right? Ultimately, they want to be the superpower of the world, right? They want the BRICS nations to overtake the NATO nations, right? So what's going to happen is America is, of course, going to have to, one, also back Taiwan, as well as simultaneously retaliate for, the murder of a foreign diplomat. And once they do this, then of course that is literally what is going to spark it all off. America is going to be forced to attack China. we see the alliance being built among these BRIC nations, right? So Russia is then also going to still be sour with America that has been backing Ukraine this entire time, and basically putting a wrench in their gears and basically essentially committing acts of war in the financial field rather than in the actual military field. So essentially, yeah, Russia's not happy with the United States for their, what is it, like, I don't even know how many billions of dollars of your taxpayer dollars have been sent to Ukraine already to help them fight Russia against. Essentially, we're funding a quasi war with fucking Russia, and Russia is not happy about it. They're not stupid people, all right? So, of course, Russia and China are going to ally and attack the United States. Instantaneously, NATO is going to have to join in, right? All the nations of NATO are going to have to join in and back the United States. All of the, nations of the UN are hopefully, going to be also backing the United States as much as possible. And if you haven't noticed, essentially at this point, everything is going to kick off at once. And we are literally going to be in what we will be written down in the history books as World War III. It's literally going to happen in an instant, in one instant, right? So back to the plane of Nancy Pelosi. Why is Nancy Pelosi talking like this? Given this all, like I said, this 40 chess information that I just fed to you guys about the hypothetical, about what all the next moves on all of these planes of reality are going to mean. The next move is clearly Nancy Pelosi must die. And Nancy Pelosi is very much aware of this. So obviously, like I say, the next move is Nancy Pelosi being shot out of the sky. Nancy Pelosi, like I said, is aware of this. And she knows that she is about to die. Of course, she fully commits her entire soul and being to the occult. So this is basically the occult, which is, like say, the 1% that are truly affecting change in the world. Unfortunately, as we see, this change is fully negative, right? We need to, like I say, we need to find some sort of light in this darkness to fight back against them, all right? So that's what I'm hoping to do with this show. I'm hoping, like I say, we're in the darkest of darkness right now, and I'm hoping to show you guys the light, right? So back to our 4D chess game. So Nancy Pelosi, like I said, let's try to interpret what she means in all of this stuff. So
we're sending stuff over to the Senate. Well, most of the product that we've done is, except now what we may have added in the last day or so, and some of what we added is Senate to the bill, like a hearing. Bernie doesn't like hearing. Excuse me, Bernie loves hearing. Manchin doesn't want hearing in the bill and all that stuff. So some is Senate-oriented, and then we have the family medical need. We figured if they're putting things in, then we can put something in, even if Manchin doesn't like it. So, so we are getting some bird and privilege. I think mostly we're getting privilege scrub, because privilege strike is deadly to a bill. Birdable, it's important. You have to take it out, but privilege violation can take you out. So we're again getting that as we go along as well. But when we pass a bill, then they will see it in its aggregate and make some.
Any concerns that any of this is, quote, messaging, because that they have to take some of those things out regardless, no matter what you send over? You said you weren't going to send a messaging bill. No,
we're not sending a messaging bill, but we want to be sure that what we send is not birdable or bird bath or privilege scrub. They're the two exercises we're engaged. Bathing.
Okay, so what is privilege scrub, right? What is that? And it's a. She's saying it can strike down bills. Privilege scrub. So, what's privilege scrub? What the fuck is she talking about, right? Like I say, we have to think real fucking deep to even try and imagine what the fuck she might be talking about. So let's use our imagination thinkers and let's try to interpret this a little bit. So, privilege scrub. So, who has been violating their privilege lately, their occultist privilege lately, to the fullest? Well, it'd probably be Nancy Pelosi with her clear and present insider trading. And so basically she's been privileged, and that privilege must be scrubbed. So like I said, she's trying to I guess cope with the existential reality that she might be dead. Cleansing the bird. Like I say, if she is the bird, if she is the free spirit flying through, the realms of this current existence, then essentially she's talking about the bird as herself. And basically sometimes the bird needs to get cut down, and it could either hurt you, or sometimes it hurts the other. And some people don't want to hear, and other people don't want to listen. She's speaking in poetry. She's essentially speaking in tongues. She's basically, like I say, lost in the realms of reality, and she's faced with this existential reality that she is probably going to be dead by next week. That's a wild assertion to make, right? But like I say, just imagine that reality. All things that you could imagine are essentially, in one form or another, true. You just have to follow the steps to make it a reality. And like I say, the occult knows that this is what needs to happen in order to have the Great Reset. And basically, Nancy Pelosi is going to be the patron saint of World War III. She's going to be the one she's going to be the powder keg that basically started off. She's going to be the spark that ignites the powder keg that has currently been fueled over the last few years in America with COVID, with all this rapid inflation. Everyone is angry right now. There's a mass divide among the United States. People are talking about civil war in the United States. We are truly at our darkest, and like I say, someone truly needs to come along to bring the light, and like I say, I'm hoping to be that shining light in this truly dark world, people. I mean, like I say, we have to believe every possibility can be a reality if we take the steps to make that. And those forces that work to enslave the people while freeing themselves, they want this to happen. They are truly evil people. Evil is a true thing in this world, people. And as we can see, these people are truly evil. Like I said, the war machine, it's essentially the god of war, right? He rains down, he absorbs the blood of men and rains back riches to those at the top. So basically, the war machine is essentially a money machine, and the ink is the blood of people. It's essentially a currency inked in blood, right? If we want to get real philosophical and real deep about it, right? It's a money machine, and it feeds on the blood of men. Like I say, these people are truly evil people. They are truly selfish people. They truly care not for one another. They truly view you as just rats that need to be exterminated. They view you as pests in their world. We see this with Bill Gates. He even comes out and admits that the world needs a massive cleansing. Basically, essentially, these things tend to happen in numbers that continuously happen to be 6 million, right? 6 million Jews died. 6 million people during the fucking Inquisitions. 6 million people are most likely going to die within the next month or so. Like I say, if this game of 40 chess that is going on in my head, like I say, the wheels in my head are turning, and I'm viewing all reality through every single spectrum, through every fucking scope there is. And like I say, this will be the deciding factor. If Nancy Pelosi gets shot down, if China declares Taiwan a no-fly zone officially, this will be the true telltale sign that World War III is officially upon us. And like I say, this could be the fucking apocalypse. I don't know, people. I don't know. Like I said, I'm fucking fully blazed on this goddamn Jeter fucking joint, and I'm thinking some out there thoughts, people. So Let me know what you guys think. If you guys think I'm just that crazy motherfucker blabbing on the street, if you think I just got too damn stoned and just started talking some random shit, I don't fucking know. I don't care either way. I'm just, like I said, this fucking, it's vlogging. It's therapy. It's me freeing the thoughts that are in my head. You know, it's, like I say, it's taking off the fucking filter, and it's just truly allowing me to just speak what I feel. And like I say, I feel like that's important right now, because like I say, I feel like I'm a pretty good dude. And I feel like the world really kind of needs somebody right now, just like me. So, like I say, if you guys like this, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I care about everybody, and whatever happens within this next week or so, everybody just remember, we're all fucking in this struggle together. Just try to understand each other.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, bitch!